I want to take the limit as x approaches 0 of this trig function. Whenever I have trig, I have to think of the limit as x approaches 0 have some specialties when you have sine x over x or 1 minus cosine x over x. When I look at this, I kind of see a sine x here, but I don't have any just x by itself on the bottom. You see that? I don't have a sine x over x, so that might not be what I'm looking for. We'll come back to it. But do I have a 1 minus cosine x over x, or its reciprocal? Well, I don't, but I kind of do. Could I pull a 2 out of this? If I pull a 2 out of this, I do have that 1 minus cosine x over x. Watch what I mean. I'm going to rewrite this as the limit as x approaches 0. I'm going to keep 3x sine x on top over, I'm going to pull a 2 out. Actually, I'm going to pull a negative 2 out. You'll see why in a second. If I pull a negative 2 out, I'll have 1 minus cosine x. Now, I did 2 steps there. What I did is I pull a negative 2 out, which would make this negative, this positive, and then it looks like this, which looks like the property we're looking for. Because if you look carefully now, watch this, it's kind of cool. Actually, let's go to, yeah. If you look at it carefully, do you notice I now have x over 1 minus cosine x inside of it? So watch this. I'm going to rewrite this again. Oops, let me undo that. Go here. The limit as x approaches 0, I'm going to rewrite this as 2 separate limits. We have 3 sine x over negative 2 times x over 1 minus cosine x. Are you okay with multiplication? We can separate it into 2 pieces. I now have that limit I want. Okay, and I can do this too. I can write the limit as x approaches 0 of 3 times sine x over negative 2 times the limit as x approaches 0 of x over 1 minus cosine x. You can actually separate that into 2 separate limits. There's an ability to do that with limits. You can separate it as 2 separate individual limits. So now, well, I don't know, maybe I do. Let's hold off on this one. But what is this one equal to according to our limit properties? Isn't this equal to 0? And isn't anything times 0 0? Yeah, anything but undefined. You can't have undefined times 0. That's not 0. But if we think about this, let's process this. This second one we said is equal to 0. So what I can do is I could say, okay, this one's 0, all right? But as long as this isn't undefined, my answer is going to be 0. So let's think about that. Well, could we simply, like always with limits, plug in 0? If I plugged in 0 to this, is there an error? Or can I simply plug it in and get a number? Yeah, when you plug in 0, what's sine 0? Well, sine 0 is 0. So 3 times 0 over negative 2, isn't that 0? Oh. So what I have here is I have this first piece is 0. This is 0, and so is this. So 0 times 0 is 0. So my answer to this whole thing is 0. So this weird limit is 0. Now, maybe in the beginning we forgot to do this. If I put 0 to begin with, it would error, just FYI. That's why I didn't do that to start with. So probably there's a hole there. And at the hole is at 0, 0. So what is f of, if this was function 0? I don't know. It's actually probably a hole, because it's undefined. But the limit, as you approach it, is a coordinate 0, 0.